Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. It's good to be back together at the end of this week. We begin by saying goodbye to our week with our weekday afternoon service with Mincha, beginning page 1 of our blue Sidur Sim Shalom, and we'll make our way into or towards Kabbalat Shabbat shortly after. Ashrei yoshvei v'techa od yalu chasela. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo. Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohav tilad David mimcha. Hadak zich. אחותך מחוק מהם שלך בחודו פותח את ידך ומשפיע בכל חי רצון צדיק נלב. תהילת אדוני ידע בפיו יברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם Hallelujah. We rise in body or in spirit as we begin our Amidah for Mincha, page 3b. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Agadol Agibur v'Anora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol v'Zocher Chastei Avot ומביא גואל לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ופוקד ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש שמך קדוש קדושים בכל ימינו חסדה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Continue privately, page 5 and on. Ose shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. Hey, da da da, da 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 da, yalla la yalla la la la, yalla la yalla da da da, anna la 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 la, yalla da da, yalla la da da da, yalla la da da, Yosef shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. We continue with Aleinu, page 11. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kgoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kmishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vigor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשיבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד על כן נקווה זכר ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad.
Mourners and others observing your side, remain standing and enable your microphone so we can join together with the words of the Kaddish, page 12. Yit Gadal, Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
Yalma Divra Kirte, V'yamlich Malchute, V'chayachon V'yomechon, V'chayed Echol Beit Yisrael, Agala V'yisman Karev, Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Olam U'Olam.
Yiparach, Yishtabach, Yisrabam, Yisnaseh, V'yatadar, V'yataleh, V'yatalal, Shmeid Kedusha, Ela, Minkol, V'yata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechata, V'amirata,
Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min
Shemaya, V'chayim Olein, V'yalko Yisrael,
V'imru.
Amen.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom Bimramav, Huyaseh Shalom,
Aleinu
V'yalko Yisrael,
V'imru.
Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Blustin. It's good to see you. Thank you for leading our service tonight. And Damon, thank you for being here tonight. I want to focus for just a second on page 13 with Shalom Aleichem. Oftentimes when we talk about this particular piyut, this prayer that we say, this poem, basically, liturgical poem, we focus a lot, or at least I focus a lot on those that we are saying this blessing to, the angels. We talk about ministering angels. And that becomes most striking because what do we believe in angels? Do we believe in angels? What are they? How are we supposed to understand them? Of course, there's a lot of Christian theology that comes in with angels that's really impacted us in our modern day understanding of angels. So that weaves its way in. And so this prayer, I find myself getting distracted. But I believe that there's something else going on that helps us to enter Shabbat in a much more holy way. And that is our language and our greetings. Now this says, it begins with Shalom Aleichem. I think most of us know that. There's of course the great Yiddish writer, Shalom Aleichem. It's not uncommon in Middle Eastern countries or Middle Eastern cultures to use this term as a modern day pleasantry or modern day greeting, to say Shalom Aleichem, and you say Aleichem Shalom, right? To have words that you say back and forth. But think about what we say, because here it's meaning may peace be upon you. You probably have heard that in English, right? The most religious of people would say something like that. Peace be upon you. What do we say? Hi. Hello. Like, what is that? Well, I don't know the etymology of hi or hello, but it sure doesn't sound like Shalom Aleichem or peace be upon you. We know that we often say, how are you, as a other way of saying hello. But we know how to answer that. You never tell anybody how you are when they ask you, how are you? That's rude to tell them the truth, isn't it? What you're supposed to say is fine, whether you're fine or not, because they didn't say anything to engage with you. They are doing the colloquial greeting, and that's what they want to hear back, fine. There is a shallowness to our everyday talk. And Shabbat calls on us not just to dive deep into our rest and into our families, into our community, but also the way that we talk to one another. So we begin with Shalom Aleichem to start to prime the pump, to start to get us used to the way in which we should be talking, at least for 25 hours. Come Sunday, you could go back to hi, how's it going, how you doing? And we all know the proper response to that is nothing truthful. But instead, on this 24 hours, you love deeper, you think deeply, And when you ask somebody about how they're doing, you pray that peace truly be upon them and all of us. Shalom Aleichem, page 13.
Shalom Aleichem, Malach Yesharim, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malach Yesharim, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yesharim, Malachei Elyon mi melech malchei melachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem l'shalom malachei shalom malachei Elyon mi melech malchei hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem l'shalom malachei shalom malachei Elyon mi melech malchei hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem l'shalom malachei shalom malachei Elyon mi melech malachei hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yeshalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yeshalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bruni L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon mi melech malachei melachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzidchem l'shalom malachei shalom malachei Elyon mi melech malachei melachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzidchem l'shalom malachei shalom malachei Elyon mi melech malchei melachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzidchem l'shalom malachei shalom malachei Elyon mi melech malachei melachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue page 15. Lechu niranena ladonai. Lechu niranena ladonai. Nariya litzuri sheinu nekadma fanav betoda mizmirot nariya lo yedida yeda 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 yedida yeda yada da yedida yeda na yedida da 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 yedida yeda yeda yedida yeda yeda yedida yeda 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 yedima la da da hayda kiel gadol Adonai Yomen gadol kol Elohim Bo nishtach avnin v'chad yivdechad yivdin Adonai usik Adonai Elohim v'nachom v'tetzon yadon Arbaim shana akut bedor va'omar ametoe levavim vehem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati ve'api im yivon el menuchati yedida yeda 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 yedida yeda 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 yedida yeda 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 yedida yeda yedida yeda yeda yedida yeda Page 16. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo, v'chol ha'amim nifleutav. Ki gadol Adonai umulav meod norau al kol Elohim aidai ki kol Elohe ha'amim merinim v'Adonai shamayim asa hod v'hadar lefanav uz v'tiferet b'mikdasho havul Adonai mishbechot amim havul Adonai kavod va'oz havul Adonai kevod shemo Seu mincha uvo lechatzrotav ayidai shtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh chilu mipanav kol haaretz imru v'goyim Adonai malach Avtikon tevel baltimot yadin amim b'mesharim yismechu hashamayim v'tagil haaretz iramayam umelo yalo sadai v'chol asher bo אז ירננו כל עציה לפני אדוני קיבה לשבות הארץ ישבות תבל בצדק בעמים באמונתו דיאמרידה אללה דידה דידה ימבידה דידה דידה יבבה דידה יבבה ay la 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 bye bye. Adonai malach tagel haaretz Yismechuim rabim. Page 17. Anan verafel svivav tzedek mishpat mechom kisol. We're surrounded by darkness and confusion. Where do we find that light? Where do we find that guidance? Where do we find that next step along the way? Ol zaru al tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. Ol zaru al tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. Ol zaru al tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. U'lishrei lev simcha. Or zaru tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. U'lishrei lev simcha. Or zaru la tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. Or zaru la tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. Or zaru la tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. U'lishrei lev simcha. Or zaru la tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. U'lishrei lev simcha. Iri da 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 la 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 ya da 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 da. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai v'hodu lezecher kodsho. מזמור של אדוני שיר חדש, כי נפלאות עשה, הושיע לו ימינו זרוע קודשו. Page 18. The Adonai is shut on echoing to the Bible. 8 lines from the bottom of the page. Zamaru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Yiram Tevel ve'yoshveva ne'arodim echauchav yachad harim yiramenu lifnei Adonai kiva lishbot haaretz, lishbot tevel b'tzedek, ve'amim b'meisharim. Iram yam lo tevel v'yoshveva ne'arodim echauchav yachad Harim Yeranenu. Adonai Malach Yigezu Amin. Yoshev Kruvim Tanut Haaretz. Adonai Betzion Gadol Veramhu Al Kol Ha'amim. Page 19. Yodu Shimcha Gadol V'Narakalushu. V'Yoz Melech Mishpat Ha'ivot HaKonan Tamei Sharim Mishpat Utztaka V'Yakov Atasita. V'mu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu le'ar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We rise together, page 20 for Psalm 29. Adonai, 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 Mizmor leDavid, Avul Adonai b'nelim, Avul Adonai kavod va'uz, Avul Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Al kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai al hamayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, v'yishaber Adonai et arzei Alvanon, v'yarkidem kemo egel Levanon, v'Sirion kemo v'nreimim, kemo v'nreimim. Kol Adonai chotzev la'avotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yichol el hayalot, Vayechesof ye'arot, Uveichalo kulo, Omer kavod, Adonai lamabule yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. We're seated as we enter into Shabbat with Lecha Dodi, taking a moment for breath, taking a moment of pause, wherever we might have been on this journey of a week. We're here in this moment right now. Wherever we may have been running from, we are here now, in this moment, in this moment, and in this moment. So we bring that presence, we bring that expansiveness, and we bring that Shabbat into our prayer spaces and into our homes. Page 21 and 22. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad ishmianu el miuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad shemu tiferet velitila lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor ameracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzeim mitoch hafecha. Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha v'hu yachamol alayich amla. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitna arime afar kumi livshi bigte tifatechami aliyad ben ishai beit halachmi korva el nafshi ge'ala. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumiori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. 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 Lo tevoshi velo tikalmi ma tishtochachi umatemi. Bach yechesu aniei ami venivneta הרהרתי לה לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה והיו לי משיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן על כלה לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה. We rise. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה מויחלה לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה שלום שבת שלום שלום שבת שלom Shabbat shalom yada da 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 yala la da 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 yala la 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 da da ay da 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 yada da 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 la la da 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 la 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 da ay da We're seated as we turn to the Psalm for Shabbat, page 23. מזמור שיר ליום השבת 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 מזמור שיר ליום השבת. The whole world is waiting to sing the song of Shabbos. The whole world is waiting to sing the song of Shabbos. The whole world is waiting to sing the song of Shabbos. The whole world is waiting to sing the song of Shabbos. But I am also waiting to sing the song of Shabbos. We are also waiting to sing the song of Shabbat. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, לאמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נע ועלי יום הסכנה, מעגלו מהסכנה, Tzadik katamar ifrach ke'erez malevanon iske shitulim בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי אשר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה בו. Adonai malach ulavesh, page 24. Lavesh Adonai ozi tazar, afti konte v'batimor. עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נאו הקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Those who are in mourning or observing Yurtzeit, please rise, enable your voice so we could join together. Middle of page 24. Yit Gedal, Yit Gedash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divra Kirutei, V'yamliv Malchutei, Hayachon of Yomechon, Uchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Agala, Bizman Karib, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah V'morach, Le'olam Umei Omaya. Yiparach, Yishtabach, Ar, Yitromam, Yinaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shnei Dekudusha, Ve'elam, Kol, Bechata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechamata, Da'amiran Be'alma, V'yimru. Amen. Yehesh, Lama, Rabba, Im, Shemaya, Yechaim, Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom, B'Ramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimru. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. You may be seated. So, I want to share something with you. And I'm worried that you're going to think less of me after I share it. So you promise me that you won't. Do I have your promise? Promise. So, as you know, this service is going to be published on YouTube. So I'm on YouTube quite a bit. I want to look at the services, see how they look, see how they sound, make sure Damone isn't falling asleep over there. He does an excellent job on all of our services. We're very thrilled to have him because he's really keeping it and publishing it really well. But I also do a lot of home repairs through YouTube. If I have a question about what's going on with my refrigerator or something with the microwave, I just recently fixed the hinges on my microwave by watching on YouTube. Apparently, what my kids did to the microwave was not that unusual. Other kids have done it. I was able to fix it by YouTube. So I'm actually a fan of that social media platform. I like that it's one way. I like that I'm not communicating so much with other people. I'm just seeing videos. I'm able to be more of a voyeurist and just get what I want. But of course, like all social media platforms, there's what they call an algorithm. I don't know what that is, but what it seems to be is it tracks what I'm watching and gives me more of it. They call it your feed, right? They are telling us straight out what they think we are, right? Like a goose, they're just shoving it down our throat, right? Feeding us whatever it is we want to watch. And so in my feed, there are things that come up based on what I watch. Ahavath Achim Synagogue comes up quite a bit. Home repair, all types of different ways to use tools in your house and do different kind of construction projects come up, of course. I love tennis. Tennis comes up quite a bit. But there are a couple others that I'm worried about telling you. I'm worried what you'll think about me when you find out what comes up in my feed, because what's in your feed, similar to whatever platform you watch movies on, the suggested movies for you could tell you a lot about yourself. So I want to share with you one of the collection of videos that keeps coming up. There is a lobster trapper who shows how he catches lobsters, measures them, clips their tail, and throws them back into the ocean. And for some reason, I'm getting all those videos. And I think I know why, because I'm watching all those videos. They're very short. They're about 40 seconds long, but they fascinate me. And I've been trying to analyze, what is it about someone capturing a lobster, bringing it up on their boat, measuring it from the eye socket down the thorax, making sure that it's legal for them to take, checking if it's female, and if it's a breeder, you turn it over, it's got eggs all up inside of it. And then if it's a breeder, you clip its tail. You're not allowed to keep it. You got to throw it back, because these are, of course, Maine lobsters. So they, at least this is the videos I get. So they are, of course, trying to continue the population. So you have to throw back what they call all the breeders to make sure that the population stays healthy and large. The size of a lobster will determine whether or not you could keep it. And interestingly enough, unlike fish, when in my days of fishing, you had to have a certain minimum size of a fish in order to keep it, lobsters have a maximum size you could keep. If they're too big, you must send them back, because apparently, at least with my favorite YouTube video narrator, if they're too big, they then don't have any natural enemies, and they are the best to put back in the ocean, especially if they are female and breeders, because nothing will be able to take them down. Nothing will be able to eat them. So they will continue going on. And according to this video producer, they live 70, 80, 90 years, this huge amount of time, these lobsters. I had no idea. Being not only a vegetarian, but keeping kosher, I'm not very involved in the lobster world. But it's been fascinating and analyzing why I'm so interested in this. And I'm so interested is because almost all the videos that I watch of this are catch and release. This poor guy is out there in Maine in the winter, pulling up these traps from the bottom of the ocean with whatever else comes up through them, taking these lobsters, inspecting them, clipping them, and having to throw them all back, or at least the ones that he shows us on the video. And it seems like, wow, what a frustrating job. You work so hard to get your pay, if you will. That's how this gentleman makes his money. He's got to throw it back. And he throws it back for the welfare of not only himself, but the community, the lobster community, the Maine fishing community, the Maine lobster retail community. He has to do all this work just to put it all back in order to maintain a healthy ecosystem. And I started doing some analysis. Why am I so fascinated in this? Why do I want to watch this poor guy do this over and over and over again? And I started thinking about where we are in our spiritual reading. Because so often we get tied into the talk about sacrifices in Parshat Vayikra. as a vegetarian, as a modern contemporary Jew, get all the questions about, well, what do you think about the killing of all the animals, Rabbi? Well, what do you think about this archaic old system of bringing these animals to the temple and burning them and their body parts and their fats? Aren't you so far removed from that, Rabbi? And I started thinking to myself, well, I don't do that, but there's all sorts of things that I do in order to lekarov, in order to bring God close. After all, that's what they were doing in the book of Vayikra. That's what the word korban means, to be brought close. That's what they continually do throughout that entire book. It's not about how you barbecue, but it's the reach nichoach, the beautiful scent that goes up to God, which draws God close to us. So I started thinking about all the things that I do that do actually add up to what might seem like a sacrifice. All the things, all the work that I do that I end up having just to throw back in order for my relationship with God to remain healthy and the ecosystem, the spiritual ecosystem that I live in, to remain pure and solid so that it will last not only for my generation, for many generations to come, just like my lobster fishing buddy. Every time I go to a grocery store, there's aisles and aisles of things that I don't buy, that I don't put into my basket, including lobsters, by the way. And I don't do that, not because I don't think lobsters aren't delicious and shrimp isn't delicious and pork isn't delicious and all these other things aren't delicious. I had my days before I was spiritual, before I was religious. But I do that because God says no, and that by throwing that back into the water, God draws close to me. I draw close to God. It is that thing that I do in order to draw near. And why? Because it says so in a book. And you may say, well, Rabbi, it says so in a book, do you know any of that's real? What's my alternative? To listen to myself? To sit and meditate and think to myself, what would be the way to bring God close? I guarantee you that every idea I come up with in that solo place of meditation will be something I like to do, something I like to eat, some place I like to go, some fun I like to have. I guarantee you every single one of them. Every food item will be delicious. Every encounter will just be joyous. Every place I go for a pilgrimage will be Fiji or Hawaii or some incredible tropic place that I just love to go to with beach time and massage time and all those different things. Every one of them left to my own devices. Because in my solo meditation, all that is there is me. But when I engage in the text, when I think about what it is I will sacrifice for God, and I look outside of myself, what eventually happens is I see I am part of something bigger. I am part of an ecosystem. I am part of a lobster catching community that needs to be kept healthy by me not just taking everything that comes in my basket, but instead saying there's stuff I have to throw back for the good of everybody, for the good of myself as well. And by doing that, I not only draw near, but God draws near to me as well. Maybe that's the point of the book of Vayikra, which we begin reading tomorrow. Let's continue with our service, with our candle lighting. Brooke and June will please come up and join us in the candle lighting. If you'd like to follow along in our book, please, you'll find the prayer on page 301.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kivishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Continue in the middle of page 28 as we begin our Mariv service. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim mechochma potei she'arim. ומעביר יום ומהביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. Ahavath olam beit Yisrael amcha v'ta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 30. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, והיה עם שמוע תשמע. ימי השמיים היה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, שהוצאתיכם את מצרים ממחנים, אני אדוני. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Continue page 32. אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. הפודנו מהמלכים מלכנו. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Let's read together at the top of page 33 on the left-hand side of the page in English, the words of the Hashkivenu. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace, now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. ושמע צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise, page 34 for Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. די 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וידפש. We take a few moments of private meditation as we offer the words of the Amidah for Shabbat, page 35 through 38. We're taking a few moments of meditation in presence as we enter into the Sabbath day. Ose shalom bimromav hu yase shalom aleinu ve'ale kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu yase shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu yase shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. We offer our Kiddush for Shabbat, sanctifying this day and helping to make it holy. The top of page 47 with the first paragraph, and then jumping to page 49. Invite those at home if you'd like to join us to grab some grape juice or some wine as well. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzvam vayechal Elohim vayom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbot vayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashivi vayikadesh oto ki voshava mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasod savri chaverai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letzia mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנך אותנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Continue with Aleinu, page 51. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotze breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא לשמיים וארץ ושם שמיים הוא אלוהינו ונעלה במלכנו היום והשיב אותה אל לבביך כן ונשמע על קדמנו ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We continue the Shloshim period, 30 days after passing, for Betty Stollard, mother to Patsy and Bill Little, grandmother to Sarah Katz, Terry Brooks, mother to Nikki Novotny, Dolores Arnovitz, wife of Harold, Rabbi Arnold Goodman, spiritual leader of our community, and father to Ari and Zipporah, Daniel and Judy, Sarah and Wes. We also note the yurtzites on this, the 3rd of Nisan, for Bernard Kramer, grandfather to Honey Workman, Rose Morris, aunt to Mildred Quatnitz, Louis Lukey Rosenberg, grandfather to Michael Ross, Siegfried Rosenfeld, grandfather to Betty Baer, Lillian Singer, aunt to Herbert Neuwirth, and Lee Weinstein, the brother to Marlene Rinsler. We also continue to walk with those who come every morning and evening to our prayer service, remembering David Carl Yarm, Bobby Lax, Rita Tuvlin, David Siegel, Marshall Moatar, Adrian Cohen, Al Filsuf, Kelly Inney, Saul Schemberg, Al Bahar, Gloria Bahar, Janice Gordon Sassine, Cookie Frank, Judge Melvin Grossman, Carol Deutsch, Harold Verono, Phyllis Podber, Murray Schenberg, Aubrey Garber Wazalewski, Alice Kaplan, Stanley Pollock, and Roberte Ben Hyman. We pray that all their memory continue to be a source of blessing as we enable our voices, rise in our place, and join together with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 52. Yit Gadal, V'yit Gadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divra Kirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayachon V'yomechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agala Uvizman Kariv V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Ve'olam Umaya, Yiparach, V'yishtabach, Yipar, V'yitromam, V'yinaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Dekudashah, Le'elam Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechamata, Le'amiran Ve'alma V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru, Amen.
Aseh Shalom B'Mramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
Amen.
Please be seated.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So grateful to have you all here with us. Rabbi Blustin, thank you for your wonderful leadership. Damone, thank you so much. For those who are online, you usually notice that we would gesture this way for Damone, and this time we're looking over here for Damone. We keep taking away all of his good equipment. Now he's working off of a laptop and just some bare bones minimum. Next time we're gonna give him an Apple IIc computer and see what he could do with that. We're gonna really try to make it difficult. Maybe just a cell phone next time. He's gonna make the whole thing work. He could do it if anybody can, but we're grateful to you to keep rolling with the punches. All of our good equipment is moved into our sanctuary in preparation for all the festivities that we're going to be having there very, very soon, which brings us to our announcements today, which we're very excited about. Tomorrow morning, 9:30, we'll be celebrating the bat mitzvah, Isla Gingold, so I hope you'll join the Gingold family, the Gross family, for that really wonderful simcha that we're going to be coming together for. That'll start at 9:30. 10:30, Paul Feldman will be leading Torah study. So he was going to be talking about, I asked him, he's going to be talking about the emotional, spiritual experience of God. Sounds sounds good. So please feel free to join him at 10:30, whether in person or online, for that Torah learning experience. We are going to be continuing in this room, though, with Isla and her family for the bat mitzvah. We'll have a wonderful kiddush that if you came in, you saw some of that being set up. That'll be a lot of fun. So please do join us for all those wonderful things. Tomorrow evening, 7:30, thank you. 7:30, Mincha, Mariv, and Havdalah online only. So please join us 7:30 tomorrow night to close out Shabbat together. That'll be always a meaningful experience. This week, we have some great stuff, really important stuff. We have Rabbi Goodman's memorial on Wednesday, the 29th, 7 o'clock in the evening. If you'd like to come to Minyan in person on that evening at 6 o'clock, I'll be here, so I'll have the room set up to go for that. And then at 7 o'clock, some of Rabbi Goodman's family will be here with a good number of presenters, people sharing reflections, people sharing teachings that they learned from him or that they are inspired to teach in his honor. That'll be at 7 o'clock to right around 8:30 on Wednesday evening. Thursday evening is the Eisenstadt lecture. We are so honored to be inviting John Meacham, the author, Pulitzer Prize winner, and just really incredible historian, joining us to talk about democracy in America, the future of democracy. So it is a timely and important conversation. He is truly an expert with all the incredible writing he's done with American historians and American leaders in our history. He really has contributed to that catalog. So please join us on Thursday evening for that as well. One last thing, I'll turn over to Rabbi Blustin in case he has a couple things he wants to share. Because Passover is coming, it is time to sell your chametz. So what is that? Well, you have all these bread products in your house, and hopefully you're going through them now. Don't buy any new ones. Keep eating through all your bread, all your grains and things like that at your home. But there might be a few left over at your home, maybe some unopened packaging that you're just like, I'm not going to make it to this great box of rice-a-roni. I'm going to leave it on the shelf, but you have to sequester it, put it away. And as long as it's not open, you could keep it in your home, but you must sell it. And that is what we call sell our chametz. So after you've done all your cleaning, you've put all your unopened chametz that you're going to save over the holiday and just not go into throughout Passover, you need to sell it to us. And we have the right form to do it. So when you came in tonight in person, there's a little piece of paper. The upcoming Benenu newsletter is coming out. There'll be a piece in there. And also on our website, you could do it online, where you could just designate me to be your agent to sell your chametz, which I do to a designated person who will buy it for the 8 days, and then I'll buy it back. So at the end of Passover, you will have all your rice-a-roni and whatever else you have. I don't even know if I don't know what a rice-a-roni is. I'm really wading into difficult food concepts today, aren't I? Lobster, rice-a-roni. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. So please, if you've never participated in this, please do. It's an important part of the Passover ritual. It's a really important spiritual offering. So I hope that you'll do it. If you need more information, just call the office and we can tell you all about it. Rabbi Blustin, what else do we got?
Next Friday. So we got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Next Friday, we will have our next Candlelight Kabbalat Shabbat in the round in Parodies. So next Friday night we'll be in Parodies. I'll be celebrating Allison's birthday as a part of that. And so we hope that you'll join us. For those who are at home, you really can't, you got to be in the room in order to really experience what it is to be together for Shabbat at 6 p.m. next week.
There you go. Be with us all next week. It's full and packed. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful experience all the way around. We're going to conclude our service with the Yigdal, page 53.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח נמצא והנה את המציאותו אחד ואין יחיד כי ייחודו נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו אין לו דמות הגוף אינו גוף לא נערוך אליו קדושתו קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו הינו אדון עולם בכל נוצר יורה גדולתו ומלכותו שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את תמונתו תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו לא יכל לפעל ולא ימיר דתו ועולמים לזולתו צופה ויודע סתרנו מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו גומל לאיש חסד כמפעלו נותן לרשע רק כרישתו ישלח לקץ הימין משיחנו לפתות מחכה קץ ישועתו Metim Yechaya El Berochasto, Baruch Adei Shem Tehilato. Metim Yechaya El Berochasto, Baruch Adei Shem Tehilato.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. See you all in the morning. Have a nice night.